Good morning, student. Let us revise our topic, revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, that we have already discussed or revised in the previous video about the topic changes in profit sharing ratio. The subtopic fourth one, that is about the revaluation, how you will do the adjustment if in case of reconstitution of partnership firm takes place. And this not only in case of change in profit sharing ratio, even at the time of admission, retirement, death, we prepare this account. And in part B, when we will prepare cash flow statement, there also we will apply the rule of revaluation that we are now learning. So let us revise. As first of all, what is the nature of revaluation account? It is of nominal nature. Nominal means all the expenses and losses are to be debited and all incomes and gains are to be credited. So see here, your book value is given, your present value is given for assets and liabilities. So while comparing with the book value with the present value, if the assets is decreasing, then it will appear in the debit side. And in case of liability, if your book value is book value with the book value, if your present value is increasing, then increases in liability will be shown in the debit side. And unrecorded liability refers to the liability which is not appeared in the balance sheet. It is given in additional information like claim for damages for workman, any kind of compensation for, is to be given to the workers. So these all are leads to the unrecorded liability. It will directly appears in the debit side of revaluation account. Now come to the credit side. If the present value of asset while comparing with the book value is increasing, then you will show it in the credit side. And in case of liability, if liability is decreasing, suppose previous provision for bad debt was 1000 and it is now reduced to rupees 500, so that is what, that is decreases in the liability by 500 will appear in the credit side. And if it will increase, it will appear in the debit side. And unrecorded assets here refers to this asset is not appearing in the balance sheet, it is given in the additional information. So directly with the value of that assets, you just show it in the credit side of revaluation account. And then while comparing the debit with the credit, if balancing figure comes in the debit side, that shows a profit and it will be distributed among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. And if it is a case of change in profit sharing ratio, it will be distributed in old profit sharing ratio. And similarly, if the balancing figure comes in the credit side, again this loss will be it is treated as loss, and loss will be distributed among the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. It means either profit or loss will appear, accordingly you just distribute it. And if it is a profit, it will transfer to the credit side of partners capital account, and if it is a loss, then it will be transferred to the debit side of partners capital account. And if the fixed method of capital is followed, then this loss will be transferred to the debit side of partners current account, and profit will be transferred to the credit side of partners current account. Now as you have seen the ledger, with the help of ledger it is easier to find out the journal entry. All these items in the credit debit side, you will credit it and debit revaluation, and credit side item will be debited and credit aspect will be revaluation account. see all the journal entries. Sometime even in board examination, instead of preparing revaluation account, sometime journal entries are asked. So you must be very thorough with your journal entry. Don't get confused. See, increase in the value of assets. As you know, if you have to increase the asset, that rule you know well, that asset is debited. In general sense, asset is debited, and if you want to increase it, then again you have to debit the assets account. And another aspect is revaluation account. And for decreasing in the liability, decreases in the value of asset, that reverse entry, assets will be credited and revaluation account will be debited. So that the same rule is here followed as we have discussed in the entry of depreciation and appreciation. So similarly here, one aspect is fixed, that is revaluation. And assets means you have to individually specify the name of that asset which is increasing, or specify the name of the asset which is decreasing. Similarly, if there is a increases in the liability, you know liability always credited, and again if it is increasing, again it will be credited, and the another aspect, revaluation will be debited. And decreases in the amount of liability, so then you have to debit the liability to reduce the balance and credit revaluation account. So one aspect is revaluation, another aspect is liability. Accordingly, you just follow the rule of debit and credit, and you need not have to remember. If your basic concept is clear regarding journal entries of assets and liabilities, that golden rules we have already discussed, assets are always debited, liabilities are always credited, the same rule is applied here. And to increase and decrease, you have to follow the rule. If to decrease the asset, you have to credit it, and to decrease the liability, you have to debit it. And for recording unrecorded assets, simply assets account, you just name the asset, which asset is not recorded, account debit to revaluation. And unrecorded liability, revaluation account to unrecorded liability. And see, if the balancing figure is coming in the debit side, that is a profit, so what entry you will pass? Revaluation account debit to all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So individually you have to write the name of the partners with the amount. And if the balancing figure comes in the credit side, that is a loss, so what will be the entry? Partners capital account is debited to revaluation account. So capital will reduce due to loss and capital will increase due to profit. So this the concept, you just make it clear, then you will not confuse to pass the journal entry. So these all are the journal entry that we have discussed, and the format of revaluation account also we have discussed. Now one topic is still left regarding reconstitution expenses. First let us discuss what do you mean by reconstitution expense. As you know well, when reconstitution of partnerships takes place, that we have already discussed the 5 situations. First was change in profit sharing ratio, second in case of admission of a partner, third is the retirement of a partner, fourth is the death of a partner, and fifth is the amalgamation or merger of a two partnership firm. So what this expenses refers to, at the time of change in the profit sharing ratio, certain expenses may be incurred by the firm to give effect to reconstitution of the firm, and expenses may be paid by an outside partner tendering of services, or remuneration of expenses may be payable to a partner. For expenses are to be debited to revaluation account. So this expenses is to be either is to be paid by the firm, okay, or if this work is assigned to any individual partner, then he is getting the remuneration, then this expenses will be borne by that individual partner. Whatever the case may be, let us see what are the possibility. Like for expenses, if it is incurred and paid by the firm, then simply it will appear to the debit side of revaluation account, and the journal entry will be revaluation account to cash or to bank. To paid any amount, you know well, credit aspect will be cash or bank, and it will be paid through revaluation account. So it is item of revaluation account, revaluation to cash or bank. And some other possibilities, see here it is specified, like for remuneration of commission payable, if for this work one partner is assigned this work, so he will get the remuneration or commission credited to concerned partners capital account, revaluation account debit to concerned partners capital account, he is to be paid the commission. And if the partner who is entitled to remuneration, he has to bear the reconstitution expenses, and such expenses are paid by the concerned partner, then there is no entry is passed for the expenses. So if the case is given for this work, that this work is given to concerned partner, then for the entry of expense will not be passed, only for paying remuneration to the partner entry is to be required, that is revaluation account debit to concerned partners capital account. And if suppose in your question expenses is also given and commission amount is also given, then only for commission amount you will pass the entry, because for expenses it is not the part of revaluation account and it will nowhere appear in the books of account. Like I'm just telling one example, A is deputed for this reconstitution purpose, and he is to be given a remuneration of 10,000. It is given in the question 10,000 is paid as a remuneration to A, then your entry will be revaluation account debit 10,000 to A's capital account 10,000. And again in the same question it is mentioned that expenses on reconstitution was rupees 11,000. Then will you pass any entry for this 11,000? No, because if the expenses is more than the remuneration, firm is not going to bear that excess amount. A concerned partner will bear that expense from his personal account. So the no entry will be shown for the expenses of revaluation 11,000. So you just be clear with this topic, and the same topic we will discuss related to expenses in case of dissolution of firm also. So this concept should be very clear. Now third case, for a reconstitution expenses to be borne by partner and paid by the partner. Of course, there will be no entry because this expenses is borne by a partner and also paid by the partner. Then it is his personal affair, so it will not be shown in the books of accounts of a partnership firm. And fourth case, suppose reconstitution expenses is borne by a partner, means he is getting commission for providing the services of reconstitution, but now it is paid by the firm, means this expenses is of partner, but on behalf of partner at present firm is bearing this expense. Then it is not what will be the entry, that concerned partner's capital account will be debited, his capital will be reduced by that amount which is borne now by a partner, now by a firm, to cash or expense. So here the expenses on behalf of partner is paid by the firm, so this will be charged to a partners, that is why it is the partner account is debited and cash account is credited. So this topic where number of time this entry confused, why the revaluation account is not involved. It is not involved because on behalf of partner, firm is at present paying, the firm will charge to the partner's capital account. That is why partner's capital account is debited and cash is credited. So this is four cases we have discussed related to the reconstitution expenses. Here we are discussing the reconstitution expenses. The same topic we will discuss at the time of dissolution of a firm, and that will be denoted by dissolution expenses. Only this much is the differences. Here we are discussing reconstitution expenses, and in dissolution of firm we will, the same topic we will denote it by dissolution expenses, and entry will be same what we have discussed now. So this is what we have discussed about revaluation account, various journal entries, journal accounting treatment relating to reconstitution expenses. So this all are the topic and we have already discussed. And see, if a partner in case of change in profit sharing ratio, if they want to revise the value of assets and liabilities, then you have to prepare revaluation account. Otherwise, if they don't want to revise the value of assets and liabilities, then what are the way to do the adjustment? You will just all the items appearing in the credit side, you just add it, and in the debit side the item is appearing, you just deduct it, and that net effect, the net amount that you are getting, then you have to follow three steps. Don't get confused. First step, you calculate sacrifice and gain ratio, that you know how to calculate old minus new, and then that net amount you have calculated, that you amount you just calculate it, and in the third step you just find out the proportion of amount that are to be compensated by the gaining partner to the sacrificing partner. So if the question is said ki partners don't want to revise their value of assets and liabilities, then three steps you have to follow. And if nothing is specified and still there is a revision of value in the assets of liabilities, then simply you just prepare this account and distribute the profit or losses among the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. This is what the topic of revaluation of assets and revaluation of liabilities in case of change in profit sharing ratio. This is what we have discussed all about the topic, and we already revised it. Go through it, try to clear the doubts, clear your concept, and as I already given you the question, MCQ question in the group, go through the pattern of questions chapter by chapter, that whatever topic I already discussed, revised, and then you be ready for your unit test and perform well and score very good marks. Thank you so much.